Do you know what tandoori chicken is made in? A tandoor. I'm gonna put a picture of it on the screen, but can you fit a tandoor in a shoebox? No. And my kitchen is smaller than a shoebox. So I'm gonna show you how to make tandoori chicken at home the easy way. And it's gonna be healthy too, because we are not loading this tandoori chicken up with ghee or oil. Instead, chicken thighs. If you trim the fat off of chicken thighs, the macros and calories are very similar to chicken breast. So use this, it adds so much more flavor. You can leave a little bit of fat because we want the flavor and it's gonna render in the oven, but you wanna start by scoring the meat. So the spices and the spice mixture can penetrate deep inside. Just cut slits in your chicken thighs. And once all the chicken thighs have been scored, set them aside because we need to spice these up and marinate them. If you go to your local Indian store, you're gonna see a spice orgy, but if you look deep enough, you'll find something called garam masala. Garam masala is a blend of a whole bunch of spices and it says it's made for vegetables. Well, we're using it for chicken today. This is what it looks like. It's super, super aromatic, but we'll need 2 teaspoons, so sprinkle it all over your chicken. And then visually look at your chicken and sprinkle in as much salt as you could possibly put in to make sure that this doesn't taste too salty. You need to add spice and redness to this, and that comes in the form of Kashmiri chili powder, which I did not buy. I went to the Indian store, saw it, walked away. Instead, I went and bought cayenne, and I already had smoked paprika. I want to show you guys that you can make this with the spices that you already have. If you're good with heat, you can add more cayenne and less smoked paprika, but if you're weak, then you could add more paprika and less cayenne. I love the smokiness that smoked paprika gives, but if you don't like smokiness, you could just go with regular paprika. And cayenne. I like it spicy, so I'm going hard. 6 spanks. And we need turmeric. Get this yellowish orangish. And a little bit of cumin. We also want to add in some ginger and some garlic. I'm using 2 garlic cloves. The trick with garlic is if the shell is on and you don't want to peel it off, just smash. And once you smash the garlic, the peel just comes off super easily. Watch that. Did you see that? Are you impressed? If you're struggling to peel ginger, just take a spoon and spoon it. Just go like that. Now you can grate this if you want to, but I don't want to lose my fingers on a grater. So instead, I'm just gonna chop these up. Just keep chopping it as fine as you possibly can. Mash it down a bit. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Any more than this and the acid can actually start to cook the chicken, and the longer you marinate it, the weirder the texture of the chicken will get. So when you use an acid like lemon juice in chicken, don't marinate for more than like 24 hours. And some Greek yogurt, non-fat, not full-fat yogurt like everyone else uses, non-fat plain Greek yogurt. This is gonna just add more protein, more creaminess, it's perfect. I'm using a 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt for my 2.5 pounds of chicken thighs. The reason I'm using such a little Greek yogurt for such a large amount of chicken is because I don't want to have any excess Greek yogurt. The more Greek yogurt you use, the more you're going to have to shake off when you actually are done marinating this, and I don't want to have excess marinade. I would not mix this with your hands. The turmeric will stain your hands. You will walk around with yellow hands. I've done it before. It's not fun. Just don't do it. Listen to me. But this does not look like tandoori chicken. I know it doesn't. And that's because you need to add some red food coloring. I also picked this up from my local Indian store. And now mix. And watch the color change. I don't think I used enough. I'm gonna use more. I want this chicken bleeding. Well, not literally, because that would be kind of gross. It already bled. All right, who am I kidding? Just make this thing red. This is red enough. It doesn't even look real. And that's when you know you've made this red enough. All your favorite Indian restaurants are using red food coloring. Just accept it. Don't try to fight against it. If your mom is watching this, your Indian mom, my mom is watching this, she's gonna be like, I made tandoori chicken without using any red food coloring. We have desensitized spice buds, okay? We just don't taste spices. I don't know why. We're built different. Your mom probably used 6 times the amount of chili powder in this to give it that red color, but listen, the regular person actually has spice buds and they will die. So instead, red food coloring. I don't even understand how my fingers got stained. I didn't touch the chicken. I had tongs. The trick to doing this in your home oven is to broil the entire time at the very top of your oven on the highest heat possible to get the perfect charness. So take your rack and put it as high as it can go. And broil on high. You and your Indian mom, don't get at me for authentic tandoori chicken not having red food coloring in it. Authentic tandoori chicken also is loaded with ghee and full-fat Greek yogurt because your Indian mom does not care about your calories or macros, but I do. Unfortunately, I don't have a wire rack, but I do have a sheet pan, and I'm gonna DIY a wire rack. And each of those strips go like this. This is 1 wire in your rack. Now cover your bowl in plastic wrap and marinate for 2 to 3 hours or overnight. Don't go any longer than that or the lemon juice might start to cook the chicken. It'll be a little weird. So with the power of editing, we're gonna magically pretend like I marinated the chicken for 2 to 3 hours. And voila, now that your wire rack is ready, place your chicken on top. So you wanna spread your chicken out as much as possible to let it breathe. Clearly mine is suffocating, but it's okay because it's time to broil. If you want, you can give it a quick spray with some oil, but put it right under the broiler. We want to check on it eventually to make sure it's not burning, but it's probably not going to burn. We got at least 10 minutes that are safe. So for a side, I like to do a lot of vegetables because I'm a hungry boy and I'm a growing boy and I need to be full, and that means vegetables. Get a pan ripping hot. You'll know it's hot enough when you can take some water and splash and it sizzles and it's gone completely. I'm using extra virgin olive oil because Italian, Indian, the ginger was from Peru. I'm very cultural. I have 1.5 green bell peppers that I chopped into thin strips. You take some salt and you put it all over. This is gonna help them get softer, and let it just sit and char for around a minute. You also wanna put a lid on. After a minute, you can start sauteing. You can see that the bottom got a little brown color on it. We want to saute for around another minute, and then just turn off the heat. The residual heat will continue to break these down and they're going to get softer. You don't want these too mushy. It's been 10 minutes. Let's check on the chicken. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at that char. That home broiler char. Ah, this is not thick enough. That one side is looking good, but flip every single piece around. Because that bottom, look at that, so soggy, so sad. We want to char that side too. While that's broiling, let's plate this up. You see how they're softer, but they've got charred a little bit? I like them that way. Put a little bit of garlic powder on them. We didn't want to do this earlier because it will burn. Also a little bit more salt. And then I have an onion that I chopped up. This I like to not saute. I like to keep this raw because it has that sharpness that goes so well with the chicken because the chicken is so protein dense. You need this to just cut that. Sprinkle this on as well. And after 5 more minutes of broiling, check and see if your chicken is completely cooked. If it's not and it's getting too dark, you can remove it from the broiler and just bake it. This is how you make tandoori chicken in a home oven. Look at all these good charred bits. Just arrange your chicken on your plate. These little charred bits, oh my god, they are the best. If you think this is burnt, it's not burnt, okay? It is charred. It is so flavorful. That is juicy. It is so soft and tender on the inside. You just gotta take it. Calories and macros will be on the screen. Whenever you cook 4 ounces of chicken raw, it's typically around 3 ounces cooked because it loses so much moisture when baking. But meal prep this chicken, eat it throughout the week. But the best thing to do with this chicken is to use it for chicken tikka masala, which I'm gonna start making right now. So that video is coming next week. I'll see you there.